In today's video, we're going to be going over how to troubleshoot workflows within BizWeaver and the tools you can use to do that. Now, generally, when you are troubleshooting a workflow, you are doing so when you're modifying it. It does happen when you create them, but most of the instances are when you're modifying an existing one. And one of the first things I want to go over when you're modifying an existing workflow, especially if you're working in production, is to make a copy of the workflow. Now you can see I already created a copy of a workflow, but just to show this again, you just click on the Save New Task when you have the workflow active in the design pane. And then you can pick the folder that you want to save it in and hit OK. And it will run through the saving process and go ahead and open that new workflow. So now you can see I have workflow 66 open, and we can see that it is added to our demo folder here. Now it's very, I want to make sure that you understand that it is very important to do this, because if you mess up an existing workflow, you cannot undo. And so if you forget a step, or there's some crucial code like SQL that you did not put in there, then you have to recreate everything, because there's no undo within BizWeaver. So the first way to troubleshoot BizWeaver is to use our compiler, which you saw when I saved or I copied the workflow. It runs through each step in the workflow and it will check to see if they're okay. So the easiest way to show when there's an issue is if I remove our loop end and save it, it's going to throw an error. Now the reason being is because for every loop start you need a loop end, and since we don't have one, it's going to show this error. So you can click on these actual red, they're actually links to more details. So in this case, it's just saying that there's a build error occurred. Please check previous error posting, and we can hit go back, and then click on this one, and this actually gives a little bit more detail. And it's saying the step SQL command get detail is missing loop end or merge. So it's saying there should be a loop end after this, so we can. So the workflow can continue and we can proceed without any errors. So we can go back and we can even look at this. This compiler actually provides information as well. So you can see we got through the start, the SQL command, the loop data, and the get detail, and then after that it threw the error. So if you follow those steps as well in the workflow, you can see that there is an issue because we don't have that loop end, and that applies for most errors. If you look at the previous step, or the step that is failing, and you look at the previous step, that may be where the issue is. So we'll go ahead and close this, and we're going to create a link from our SQL command here and drop in our loop end. And when we do that, we can also check our links. So as of right now, we should not have a link from here to our email command. So let's go ahead and check that. We check that in the grid view. And you can see that right now we have the start, and then it ends at the data loop and get the data loop here, and it's right now those are not connected. So if we run this workflow, so if we do a test run, it should stop once we get through our data, which there were just 10 records, I believe. And then it just ended. So it will actually run a workflow if you do not connect the rest of it. So if like half of your workflow is running and the other half isn't, a good way to check that is go to the grid view and check to see if you do not have the rest of it connected together. So to do that, we just drag and drop our connection from the loop end to the next tool. We check it and see that the connection did not stick. So do that again. So there we go. We have now the connection between the two steps. Now, this is a great way to go through your workflows and check for errors. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.